Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Republicanism marks 16 years in Nepal, Republic Day being observed across the country, additional efforts required to institutionalize the system. The government set to introduce a budget of around 1.9 trillion rupees today, manufacturing industry and employment among the priorities. Preparations underway to address issues of victims of cooperatives. Cyclone Rimal sweeps across coastal Bangladesh and India, killing at least 10 people. Thousands of households, shrimp farms and river protection dams flooded and damaged. And Rafael Nadal crashes to his earliest exit at the French Open after a straight set defeat by Alexander Zverev. Fans wonder if the 14-time champion will return to the Grand Slam he ruled for 2 decades. It's Republic Day today. It has been 16 years since Nepal was declared a republic country. However, those who established republicanism in the country are being criticized with allegation of failing to institutionalize the system. The biggest achievement of the 19-day popular movement of 2006 was Nepal becoming a federal democratic republic country. After the Constituent Assembly election was held in April 10, 2008, the first meeting of the House of Representatives, held on May 28, 2008, announced that Nepal was a republic country and the 250-year-old monarchy was abolished. The achievement was gained by fighting against the autocratic rule of the monarchy by the joint effort of then 7 political parties, then NCP Maoists, who had conducted a 10-year-long armed insurgency, civil society, among others. For this, many had to sacrifice their lives, spend time in jail, and bear torture. However, when the country entered a new era, everyone was jubilant. Nepal becoming a republic country has established that no one is above the law. The nation will be operated by the rule of law and not by a dynasty, and people's mandate will be supreme. It was the first time that the constitution was developed by the elected representatives of the people. With Nepal becoming a republic country, it has transformed into a federal system. 3 tiers of government are functioning, and proportionate inclusivity method has been enforced in all the levels of the state. Dalits, women, marginalized and underprivileged people in minority, and those from rural areas have also been given opportunity to participate in the ruling process. Meanwhile, as political parties have been abusing the state's entities to fulfill their vested interests, many people have started raising questions regarding the system. If political parties, leaders, and state mechanisms can put the democratic system into practice by exhibiting discipline and make it a way of life, only then can the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal become stronger and more institutionalized. The government is to introduce a budget of around 1.9 trillion rupees for the upcoming fiscal year today. The budget ceiling was amended yesterday evening. Prior to this, the ceiling was set at 1.8 trillion rupees. The size of the budget was increased after a few new programs were proposed by the politicians. High-ranking government officials have claimed that the budget for the next fiscal year, which comes into implementation on 16th of July, will address the economic issues of the country. They have added that the budget is focused on the targets of increasing production and employment as envisioned by the 16th plan. The budget supposedly includes programs that address the issues of the construction and industrial sector, promote entrepreneurship and startups, and programs of education, health, employment, and social security. The government is also to prioritize the energy sector in the budget, which aims the completion of new electricity transmission lines and construction of substations. The government has made preparations to ensure adequate budget for national pride projects and transformative projects. It aims to complete Sikta irrigation, Babai Rani Jamara, Sunkoshi Marine, and road infrastructures of strategic significance that can provide immediate returns. To increase the scope of taxes, the budget stresses on integrating all economic activities in the formal system. With the objective of curbing the impact of climate change, the government is introducing the National Policy for Disaster Risk Reduction. Skill development and training programs are to be introduced for youths seeking to pursue foreign employment. The budget is also to prioritize production and marketing of crops with export prospects, addition of a few new tourist destinations, and upgrading road networks to popular destinations. The budget is also focused on industrialization through agriculture by declaring investment decade on agriculture. Policies are to be included for the protection of arable land and use of barren land. The budget also aims to address the problems of the victims of cooperatives. The Parliament Secretariat has said that all preparations for the budget for the upcoming fiscal year 2024-25 that will be presented in the joint meeting of the Federal Parliament today has been complete. Minister for Finance Barsaman Poon is scheduled to unveil the budget for the upcoming fiscal year during the joint meeting of both the houses at 1 p.m. at the Parliament building in the capital's New Baneshwar. According to Assistant Spokesperson of the Parliament Secretariat, Dasrat Dhamala, the meeting will be adjourned after the Finance Minister unveils the budget. Separate meetings of the House of Representatives and the National Assembly have also been scheduled today, while Finance Minister Poon will present the report on the revenue and expenditure of the fiscal year. The Secretariat has said that the program will not be affected by the continued Parliament obstruction by main opposition Nepali Congress. The Parliament Secretariat has also said that other businesses will also be presented at the Parliament given a consensus is reached among the political parties. Prior to this, the government had endorsed its policies and programs from the Parliament amid obstructions by the main opposition. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces what issues must be addressed in the budget of the upcoming fiscal year. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
बजेटमा हामीहरूलाई सबभन्दा पहिला त्यही तलबको वृद्धि गरिदिनु पर्यो।
प्रत्येक वर्ष हामीले बजेटमा केही न केही करहरू बढाएको देखेको छौं। तर यो अहिलेको जुन अवस्था छ आर्थिक मन्दी, यो अवस्थामा सरकारको तर्फबाट अब नयाँ बजेटमा केही चीज बढाएर नआओस्।
बाटोघाटोहरू त्यति राम्रोसँग बनिहालेको त छैन हैन, त्यसको लागि मतलब व्यवस्था गरिदिनु पर्यो।
राम्रो शिक्षा भए तापनि शिक्षा अनुसार चाहिँ रोजगारी क्रिएट गर्न सकिएको छैन कि।
बजेटमा सरकारले युवा पलायन रोक्नको लागि विशेष कार्यक्रम, विशेष योजना गरिदिएको भए राम्रो हुन्थ्यो।
किसानले आत्मैदेखि अनुभव गर्ने, फिलिङ गर्ने र उत्पादन गरेर केही हुन्छ भन्ने हौसला बढ्ने तरिकाले बजेट विनियोजन गर्नुपर्छ।
चीन र भारत जोड्ने सडकमा चाहिँ विशेष बजेट हाल्नुपर्छ।
जनमुखी, उत्पादनमुखी र प्रतिमूलमुखी बन्नुपर्छ। वितरणमुखी बजेटलाई रोक्नुपर्छ।
उद्योगी व्यापारी क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ करको दायरामा केही हेरफेर गरेर अलिकति सहुलियत गर्दै चाहिँ धेरै राम्रो हुन्थ्यो।
Major parties have inched closer to an agreement on the terms of reference of the Parliamentary Probe Committee to investigate the fraud of cooperatives. The meeting of senior leaders held yesterday evening at the official residence of the Prime Minister in Balwatar inched near a consensus to set the terms of reference of the Parliamentary Committee to probe the fraud of cooperatives. According to Minister for Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Padam Giri, the terms of reference of the Parliamentary Committee will not include the name of Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Rabi Lamichhane. However, the ruling and opposition parties have agreed to include the name of Gorkha Media Network, where the funds of cooperatives were abused. Meanwhile, the names of other disputed cooperatives are also to be included. The terms of reference are to be given a final shape after a consensus is reached among the senior leaders today. The meeting of the task force is being held at the Ministry of Law. Meanwhile, preparations have also been made to announce a 7-member parliamentary committee. It has been learnt that the committee is to be formed before the budget is presented at the Parliament. The meeting of the Nepali Congress Parliamentary Party is also slated for today. The Supreme Court has termed the vote of confidence received by Gandaki Province Chief Minister Khagaraj Adhikari as unconstitutional. The Apex Court has also ordered to appoint Nepali Congress Province Assembly Party leader Surendra Raj Pandey as the Chief Minister within 48 hours. The bench of judges Kumar Regmi and Sunil Kumar Pokhrel concluded that the vote of confidence received by Chief Minister Adhikari was unconstitutional. As provisioned by Sub-Article 3 of Article 168 of the Constitution of Nepal, the court has directed to appoint Sudendra Raj Pandey as the Chief Minister on the grounds of being the leader of the largest party of the Province Assembly, Nepali Congress. Chief Minister Adhikari has lost his position following this verdict of the Supreme Court. Appointed the Chief Minister from CPN-UML, Adhikari had received 30 votes from among the total of 60 Province Assembly members. The Province Assembly Speaker had termed the votes he had received as majority, after which Nepali Congress had moved the Supreme Court. It was the second writ filed by Nepali Congress Province Assembly Party leader Pandey against Adhikari. The Apex Court had scrapped the previous writ, after which Adhikari had sought the trust vote. With the onset of monsoon, Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane has said that a task force would be formed under the leadership of the Ministry of Home Affairs to ensure rescue and relief for the public from water-induced disasters, including floods, landslides, and inundation. Expecting required rescue of around 20,000 people this monsoon from floods and landslides, the ministry has begun preparations for the same. During discussion with the stakeholders at the Ministry of Home Affairs yesterday, Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Lamichhane directed the security departments and the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Authority to remain prepared for possible monsoon-induced disasters. He said that a task force would be formed within 3 days, including all 3 security mechanisms, Department of Roads, helicopter operators, and the Meteorological Forecasting Division. He also suggested for forming a work procedure to avoid legal hurdles. Inspector General of the Armed Police Force Raju Aryal said that it was important to hold talks with India on opening the doors of Koshi Barrage to avoid monsoon-induced inundation. He also expressed dissatisfaction over the failure in ensuring proper expenditure of the adequate fund in the disaster fund led by the Chief District Officer. Inspector General of Nepal Police Basanta Bahadur Kumar spoke of challenges in implementation of laws related to disaster-related risks and rescue. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. Why has the distance between Nepali Congress and CPN-UML widened? Your options are A, intention to escalate problem, B, indication of new political equation, and C, political stand is normal. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It's time now for the international update. Cyclone Rimal swept across coastal Bangladesh and India yesterday, killing at least 10 people as thousands of households, shrimp farms, and river protection dams were flooded and damaged. Strong winds and heavy rain brought by Rimal cut electricity supply to millions before losing intensity. The cyclone is the first this year of the frequent storms that have pounded the low-lying coastals of South Asia in recent years as climate change drives up surface temperatures at sea. In Bangladesh's southwestern Mongla, heavy rainfall and strong winds were still ravaging the area hours after the cyclone's landfall. People were seen salvaging their damaged households. In Bhatia Ghata, river protection dams were heavily damaged, flooding villages and farms. As the cyclone weakened, heavy downpour continued to damage the coastal area. Ferry and boat services remained closed yesterday. Cyclone Rimal is one of the strongest to hit Bangladesh in recent years. Cyclone effect was seen in India and Nepal as well. West Bengal government confirmed the death of 6 civilians due to Cyclone Rimal. The Papua New Guinea National Disaster Center said that last Friday's landslide in a remote village in the northern part of the country buried more than 2,000 people. The government of Papua New Guinea informed the United Nations about this matter and requested for international assistance. An official from the Papua New Guinea National Disaster Center said in a letter to the United Nations that the landslide buried more than 2,000 people alive and caused major destruction to buildings, food gardens, and caused major impact on the economic lifeline of the country. A landslide occurred in the Khao Klam village of Enga province, which is about 600 kilometers north of the capital, Port Moresby, at 3 o'clock in the morning, local time last Friday. It is said that 150 houses were buried in the landslide. Similarly, Papua New Guinea Defense Minister Billy Joseph said 4,000 people had been living in the 6 remote villages in the Mayap Mulitaka area in Enga province, where the landslide occurred in the early hours of Friday while most people were asleep. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.